Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon, never trust my NFL predictions, Perna, and today I'm predicting the Jets and Browns Thursday night football game. Everything I say will be wrong and everything I don't say will be right. I'll give you 3 reasons I think each team could win, none of them being Josh Gordon. I do wish we had Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon calling this game because in the Jets-Dolphins game, they were filthy. They had filthy little mouths.
Bobby Anderson never feels him coming from behind. He puts a big lick on his right.
Check.
Mm-hmm. You see that ball come out of his
Tight end, all from behind.
Mm-hmm. Jets QB Sam Darnold very quickly went from bum to savior to clown to average Joe, which are the only 4 classifications for a quarterback in the New York Post. Cleveland is fresh off another almost win in which they nearly defeated the Saints, if not for 4 missed kicks. The Browns left 8 points on the board, which was the entire scoring total of LeBron James' teammates in the NBA Finals this last summer. That's good sports. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel and notification. This episode is sponsored by BetDSI, one of the most trusted sports books out there. Right now, if you use my promo code GS100, BetDSI will match your first deposit up to $1,000. That's free money you can lose by listening to my betting advice. If you do the opposite of what I say, you might turn into the next Jeff Bezos. That's how he got rich, gambling. In this game, the Browns are 3-point favorites at home on a short week, which I like. The over-under is set at 39.5, and I'll tell you which bets I'm taking at the end of this episode. Now let's begin with the 3 reasons the Browns could win this game. And honestly, each week that passes, the Browns make it a little harder for anyone to find 3 fucking reasons they can win any fucking game. Cleveland has allowed exactly 21 points in their first 2 games. Tyrod Taylor has been average at best, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 52% completion rate against the Saints and Steelers defenses. And by comparison, Ryan FItzpatrick threw for 417 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 picks against the Saints defense. And Patrick Mahomes threw 6 touchdowns for 326 yards against the Steelers defense. My point is, the Browns offense has not played well despite the hype Hard Knocks gave it. And when your offense is playing poorly, what should you obviously do? Get rid of the guy who could be your number 1 receiver. In fact, trade the man to one of the best teams in the league, who is also in your conference in the AFC, and get jack shit for him. I can't even get to reason 1 of why the Browns might beat the Jets. But here it is, I guess. The Browns could win this game because of wide receiver Jarvis Landry. Antonio Callaway had the bigger game against the Saints, well, 1 big play anyway, but Landry is the main target, and I think he has the biggest mismatch against the Jets secondary, unless Morris Claiborne is covering Landry all game. I believe he's going to have a lot of success in the slot against Buster Skrine and Trumaine Johnson. Neither great corners, and both about to get blasphemed. Unless Landry doesn't play with the knee injury, then that makes what I just said completely irrelevant and fucking stupid. Looks like I should have checked the goddamn injury report before I recorded this stupid episode. Right? The second reason Cleveland could win this game is Tyrod Taylor and the bootleg. The first play the Dolphins ran against the Jets was a 20-yard successful bootleg by Captain Fragile Knees himself, Ryan Tannehill. Cleveland, run this exact play to start the game. New York will never see it coming. Run that play 30 times and you will win, Cleveland. Look, right here, Tannehill again at the end of the game on 3rd and long, bootlegged. If you run less than 10 bootlegs, Todd Haley, you're a fucking coward and unqualified to be a coach, even in Cleveland. The final reason, and probably the biggest reason the Browns could win, is Sam Darnold and the Browns defense. Now, as angry as you have made me, Cleveland, you should be proud that you held the Saints offense to right around 300 yards on the day. They put up nearly 500 on the Bucs. If you can keep Drew Brees in check, you should be able to handle Darnold in your home stadium. In fairness to Brees, though, his receivers did fumble a few times. Now, I really like the Browns' edge rushers, Myles Garrett and Genard Avery. They are the big mismatches for the Jets' tackles, Kevin Beachum and Brandon Shell, but the X factor, the up-and-comer on that D-line is second-year player Larry Ogunjobi. Larry Ogunjobi. I mean, it's obvious his nickname, Star Wars related, is so obvious. Larry Ogunjobi, Boba Fett, the Mandalorian mercenary. 2 sacks last week, 1 sack on Big Ben, and he is wreaking havoc on the interior. Now, Darnold looked damn fine week 1, and then the beer goggles wore off and he looked a little ugly. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't bad, but he did throw 2 interceptions, 1 in the end zone. He is a rookie, which means his play will be unpredictable. He might be amazing this game, or he might throw 3 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. The Browns have to hope he plays poorly, which could definitely happen on his first Thursday night game with only 3.5 days to prepare and try and correct mistakes from week 2. That just might be the perfect blend of circumstances for the Browns to get their first win in 1,000 years. The last time the Browns won, the Chargers were in San Diego, and Ryan FitzPatrick was a bad quarterback for the Jets. A reason the Jets could win. Even though the Browns were very good defending the run in New Orleans, I think the Jets can win by rushing the bull piss out of the ball. You have to make the game easier for Sam Darnold, and the best way to do that is to slow down the game and feed the two-headed, what's less scary than a monster? A two-headed zombie rabbit, that is Bilal Powell and Isaiah Crowell. Crowell had 102 yards and 2 touchdowns week 1, and I think he's primed to gash his former team, as might be former Brown Terrell Pryor in the receiving game, assuming Pryor doesn't give up on passes like he did here in the end zone. So maybe that pick's not all on Darnold. Week 1, the Jets rushed for nearly 180 yards against the Lions. Week 2, they were far less successful against Miami, only producing 42 ground yards, but that's because they were down 20 points at halftime. And so close to only being down by 14. So if the Jets don't get behind, they can keep rushing the ball. Second reason the Jets might win, phantom mistakes caused by fear. The Jets also have a talented defensive line, with Leonard Williams and Steve Mclendon as a couple of the top-rated interior defenders in the league. Jordan Jenkins may not be a dominant edge rusher, but he scared Ryan Tannehill into making this phantom throw. There's nothing funnier to me in a football game than when the ball just slips out of the quarterback's hands. Wait, no, there is. It's the phantom snap. It's the Dolphin center who thinks Ryan Tannehill is under center when he's in shotgun and just snaps the ball into his asshole. Like it's a butt plug party weekend on a Miami yacht.
Oh, that's a fumble.
First, I thought maybe he felt like Tannehill was under center.
The Jets bring phantom mistakes for the opposing offenses they play. They did it to the Dolphins, and they did it to the fucking Lions. So beware, Cleveland. The final reason the Jets could win is they didn't have to fire their kicker this week. Jets kicker Jason Myers did miss a PAT last week. Not that it mattered, as he made both field goals and was perfect week 1. The Browns, of course, cut Zane Gonzalez and signed rookie Greg Joseph because Dan Bailey wanted no fucking part of this Browns team and went to Minnesota instead. Greg Joseph, well, all I'll say is never trust a guy with 2 first names. He is obviously hiding something. However, in 2016 and 17, Jason Myers was not good in Jacksonville and was replaced by Josh Lambo. This game could go either way with the kickers. Now, my gut says take the Browns at home on Thursday Night Football. That is why they are favored by 3 points. Their defense is actually pretty good, but I'm betting on the Jets to win on the road on BetDSI, and if not, only lose by 1 point due to a missed PAT or something weird. I like the under in this game because both teams have been stout defensively, so I'm betting on the over instead. That's how I roll. That's how I do it. And that is my Thursday night prediction episode. I was wrong last week. Who knows? Who knows what fortunes this football week will hold for my predictions. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Subscribe here on YouTube. Share these videos with your mom. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna, Instagram at Brandon Perna. I do football updates there. And we do a podcast every Thursday and Monday on my second channel, That's Good Podcasts. It's about football.